Да, угораздило ж меня вырубить микрофон, конечно же. А, а, Видео, бла-бла-бла. Да, я вещаю на YouTube с задержкой. Задержка где? У меня задержка 20 секунд. Ну ладно, ну чё, подождем. Пока стрима нет. Ладно. Настройки. Вывод. А где ж часы? А где ж это дерьмо? Расширенный. Мгм. А так у меня задержка тут не включена. А может у меня на ютубе само включена? Где посмотреть? Творческая студия. Другие функции эфира. Так, и что у нас тут? Бла-бла-бла. Да. Трансляция продолжается. Открытый доступ. А почему у меня RL адрес сервера? Бла-бла. Бла-бла-бла. Ладно, значит мы можем стартовать. Давайте начнем с TFT. Грать, подтвердити. Так, давайте вот так сделаем. Сразу ММ. Ам. Так, теперь у меня другой вопрос. Задержка, где тут написано? Задержки нет, что за дерьмо? Меня пытаются наебать. А где? Третье видео.
In this video, I'll show you how to set up and manage live streams in YouTube's live control room.
Что за хуйня? Я сказал другое видео, мне нужно посмотреть. Подождите. URL адрес сервера. Если я так перейду, то есть меня отправят на меня, да? Лайвстрим. Ждем пользователя микс. Какой нахуй микс? Что вы высираете? Я тут. О, все, Pubg лайт. Ребят, если что, это не Pubg лайт. Это Лига Легенд, ну, походу, это мало кого ебет. Ой, я что-то все закрыл. Вот. Я так перейду, то есть у меня... Да, задержка все равно есть. Почему так долго? Видишь? Блять. О, Тристанус сидит. Тристанус. Ого, играть. Лес. Да блять, что так долго ищет? Давайте тогда обычный, похеру. Получить. Что я получил? 300 очков бета-пропуска. Что мне она дает? Походу ни хера. Ладно, открыть добычу. Я могу что-то открыть. А у меня тоже нифига недоступно. Ладно, погнали. А как играть? Ранга. Да блять, как играть? Играть. Вот, я туплю. Так. О, чатик. О, кто-то в чат. Привет, киберспорт. О, привет, а ты кто? Здорово, уф. Так вот кто это. Понимаю. Так, найти. Защит. Прикинь, мне нужно до 3 часов ночи чем-нибудь заняться. Меня никто не хочет чем-нибудь занять. Поэтому я играю в какую-то неясную херню. Таймер записи стрима. Он у меня есть. А что мне еще надо? Так, коллекция сцен создать. Что-то не то. Вид. Не то. Списки. О, заработало. А берет какой-то мужик. Вы что, объебались? Кто кому звонит? Алло, вы не на мой номер телефона звоните, алло. Кто здесь?
У тебя какие-то проблемы с...
Роберт, ты дебил, скажи мой номер.
В смысле твой номер?
Мой номер какой?
Хорошо. Твой номер. А можешь сейчас просто позвонить мне с него?
Давай, я позвоню.
Вот просто... Посмотрите, вот, ты не утеряй просто. Окей. Звони просто, я пока отключусь.
Подожди, Роберт, ты серьезно? У меня телефон на зарядке выключен на 24% зарядки.
Выключенный на что?
Он выключенный. Ты не можешь на него позвонить.
А как так? Объяснил? Я позвонил на него только что, отвечает мужик. Мужик ответил.
Какой тебе, блядь, мужик ответил?
Блядь, тебе 4 человека сейчас докажут, что мужик со мной разговаривал только что, и я говорю, кто это, а он такой говорит, что это не Егор.
А имя
А?
какое?
Я откуда знаю, не спрашиваю, это Егор, он говорит, нет, это мужик. Я подумал, твой батя, я говорю, я к Егору звоню. Он говорит, это тут Егора нет. Я говорю, типа, окей.
095 723 0469. Что?
Еще раз продиктуй.
095 723 0469.
В смысле? Такое возможно вообще, блядь?
Егор, реально не твой телефон.
Это твой телефон.
Я сейчас тебе с него позвоню, я тебе отвечаю.
А, позвони.
Сейчас, секунду. Где Роберт? Роберт. Вот, смотри, звоню Роберту, вот. Ой, ща. Вот, звоню Роберту. Ща, видно, не видно? Вот, Роберт. Объясни мне, ты дебил?
Я тебе клянусь, этот номер уже 3 раз. Мужик.
Какой тебе мужик, отвечай.
Я тебе клянусь, чел, это не пранк, я тебе серьезно, я позвонил, и типа мужик, видно было, что он спал, типа, я такой спрашиваю, я думал, это твой батя, подумал,
Чел, у меня пропущенных нет в телефоне.
Чел, и мы звонили, да я тебе клянусь, вы хотели позвонить, чтобы, типа, видели, что стрим идет, и хотели на стриме позвонить, поговорить. Так получилось.
Прикольно у тебя получилось 2 часа ночи типу позвонить.
Егор, так набери тот же самый номер, как у тебя, ты тоже на него, наверное, попадешь.
А ну-ка. Давай я попробую, подожди, давай я попробую.
О, давай, сейчас я дисконт зайду, давай.
Давай, готов? Вот, смотри. Водофон.
Давайте продиктуй номер, ты запиши и позвони по нему.
Вот, я позвонил, я на стриме показал.
А, стрим включи.
У меня линия занята. То есть я не могу звонить сам себе.
Так сбрось.
Позвони еще раз. Давай я позвоню просто.
Ну давай ты позвонишь, хорошо.
Давай номер. Сейчас. 095.
Да.
Паша, говорю, 095 06
Что?
095.
Да.
723.
Да.
04. 69.
Да.
Звони. Это будет Егор?
Вот, Роберт, ты объясни, ты дал?
Братан, я тебе клянусь, ты думаешь, что я тебя наебаю?
Хорошо, давай
Думаю-
давай по-другому, я выключу телефон.
Опа, хорошо, давай выключай. Я к этого не читаю, позвоним.
Смотри, сейчас скажу, когда выключу.
Кому сегодня такой звонили?
Сейчас позвоним после нас, я знаю. Ты серьезно, ты уверен?
Вот,
Ты хочешь
все, я
музыкальный
вырубил
был?
телефон.
Я сброшу. Так, я звонил.
Это правда.
Пиздец. Еба!
Понимаешь,
В
что
смысле?
прикол?
Откуда у тебя такой же номер, как и у меня? Что за херня?
Вот-вот.
Что ты,
я
Егор,
не
охерел?
Я вырубаю свой телефон. Бля.
Реально, мужик в ахуе, такой, типа, блядь, что ты звонил?
Какого хера? Что за дичь? Ну я тебе могу мой Киевстар дать. На
Да не
нем-
надо уже, все, просто тебе показал,
на
что
нем, на нем может тоже кто-то есть.
это мифический какой-то номер, я хз.
В смысле, разве
Ну,
может
что, так
номер
отвечай такой?
повторяться?
Мало. Не должен. Ну что ты стоял, теперь спать не может, мужик сейчас придет с нами, блядь. Это батя, это Соник, короче.
Че за нахуй? Так, хорошо. А я на свой номер позвонить не смогу, потому что у меня включенный телефон. Сет,
Не надо уже там мужика отдавать.
скажи, смени
Просто
номер.
его ж- Я ему просто 2 раза позвонил, типа, 1 раз просто сбросил, подумал, что твой батя.
Да скажи, чтобы
А
он
потом-
гнида сменил номер.
Он покупал этот номер, сказал, год назад.
Ах!
Он очень давно его покупал,
А
сказал,
он
ну,
его
где-то
какого-то
год-полтора.
бомжа покупал или что?
Он не помнит, где он его покупал.
Что ты с тобой говоришь?
Егор, ты походу номер твоего бати.
Нет, мой батя сейчас спит.
Так мы его разбудили, походу. Пару
Ну,
раз.
у меня есть Киевстар 098 339 2076. Попробуй
Вот
позвонить на него.
Только ты выключен телефон, да?
Нет, сейчас еще не выключил, ты я тебе
Да,
номер
погоди,
диктую.
0,90. Так выключи его.
098 339
Да.
2076.
Выключай.
Ща.
Выключай, сейчас позвоним
Секунду.
Егора, про Егора узнаем.
Ща. Все, я офнул.
Я просто, пацаны, я уезжаю.
Я офнул.
Егор, если что... Да, только жестко не ори, потому что если... Выключил? Выключил телек?
Да, все.
Давай.
Зараз абонент
Но не повезло. Видишь, водофон
А
конченый.
чё за говно?
Давай сейчас звоним, ты люди просто. Ну не надо, потому что...
позвонили в будущее.
А, может там в будущем, Егор, то это... Походу, Егор реально, это ты из будущего.
Так подожди, ты тогда позвони ему еще раз и скажи, я стану бизнесменом или нет?
Не, Егор, не
Я должен знать.
Не, Егор, потом позвонишь.
Хотя погоди, если я в
Вот что,
час
что он
ночи-
не Егор, это все.
А, все, я...
Егор, а
Так
ты
это
можешь
мой
просто взять...
сын ответил, вы не понимаете.
Егор, а ты можешь просто взять сейчас, вытащить карту Vodafone и просто с
А у
Киевстара
меня,
позвонить?
а у меня,
Да,
Киевстар...
кстати.
у меня Киевстар уже 2 года не пополняется.
А, ну, зато твоя не
Возьми
надо.
у батя телефон.
Который спит?
Да.
Ну я думаю,
Блин, а
я
можно так
быстрее
сделать с
возьму
моим
пиздюлей.
телефоном?
А что ты со своим
Хотите, можем
телефоном?
проверить, если у меня такое? Ну что же Vodafone?
Не, Роберт,
Да,
я
давай.
один такой.
Ладно, давай пока попробуем на моем, я
Ага.
просто хочу проверить. Так, подожди.
Почему у меня нету легенд? Ну похуй. Странно. Вот, например. Оп. И чё? О, заработало. Что-то я без вебки, но похеру. Я звонил вам в 2 часа ночи. Шо?
Так, алло.
Алло.
Я просто поздравляю, говорю, у тебя правда мифический. Мифический.
Подожди. Вот мне пишет, я звонил вам в 2 часа ночи. Ну и чё? Подожди, а если этот мужик позвонит на мой номер?
Не знаю, блин, братан, ты конченый.
У нас случится разрыв во времени. Да.
Пашка вам звонил. О, только что пришло уведомление, что
Да.
Паша мне звонит. Ну, Егор, ну не знаю, мне за тебя страшно.
Так подожди, то есть когда отключается мой телефон, ты звонишь другому мужику?
Прикинь, если, типа, к этому мужику пытаются дозвониться, а типа, ну не получается, все звонят тебе.
Нужно будет с ним
Когда у тебя
переговорить.
выключен. И поэтому он по ночам не спит, и он привык всем отвечать и говорить алло. Пишите, пожалуйста.
Так а прикол в том, что Роберт же, получается, на него попадается уже раз 5-й.
Нет, чел, я попался сначала на на Лену.
Как,
Это, ну,
блядь?
ну,
А может было немножко тоже был этот момент, просто я не
Нет,
определил,
это
не
Лена.
знаю.
Скажи, у тети Лены же стоит на гудке.
Я не знаю, что
Знаете,
у нее стоит на гудке.
Ну там было это, я услышал, что по голосу была Лена, тетя Лена, потому что это, короче, я слышал еще звук.
Да, Роберт, по-моему, у
Милы.
тебя просто Xiaomi.
Роберт Шатсон позвонил.
А я в шоке, я не ожидал, типа. А потом, когда ты вышел, я когда тебе позвонил, у тебя не было уведомления, блин, опять как.
Так я тебе говорю.
Ну, короче, какая-то херня происходит.
Да не,
Ладно.
в принципе,
Не
мне
переживай,
нравится.
Что тебе нравится? То, что если ты будешь вдруг там, не знаю, родители там это. Или, там,
Не,
знаю,
знаешь,
там
что это значит?
будь-
Я могу давать
Ну.
свой номер телефона людям, которых я обманываю, а это реально будет мой номер телефона, только я буду вырубать телефон. И они будут звонить этому мужику.
Дай позвонил, который типа звонит сюда. Поди звонили. Вот.
А, реально.
Это Егор? Что ты Может, этот парень уже пошел. Может, этот парень сейчас уже пошел до 2 часа ночи номер менять?
Да не, мне кажется, он уже понял, что это бесполезно.
Брысь мой колос.
Сам спать хочет, давайте сбрось сюда.
Давай, Саня, чтобы с тобой вернемся.
А где проблема с ним?
Роберт, ты прикинь, Тристан до сих пор не отвечает.
Тристан до сих пор не отвечает?
Да, я ему говорю, го ММ, мне до 3 часов ночи нехер делать, он ничего не отвечает.
Понятно. Ух, Егор. Ладненько, Егор, мы, наверное, уже будем закругляться.
Уже не 2 ночи.
Сейчас мы ляжем и будем что-то обсуждать. Ладно, Егорчик.
А вы что, в
Короче,
одной кровати ложитесь? А вы что, в одной кровати ложитесь?
Нет, мы ложимся тут по-разному. Денис, у него отдельная комната, а мы типа тут в одной. Ну или Денис, может, останется в этой комнате. Ну ладно, короче, Егор, не буду это тебе тоже мешать, давай, люблю, целую.
А, спокойной ночи.
Давай, пока.
Так, ну а мы продолжаем наш стрим с темным экраном. Мне, кстати, нравится качество. Или он уже не темный? Может, это мне уже кажется. О, экран уже не темный, прикольно. Блин. Хочу взять, наверное, ее. Тут больше некого особо брать. Мальфио. Так, давайте я предлагаю апнуть левел. Затем взять Рениангтона. Затем взять... А все, у нас 3 хищника. Отлично. Можем еще кого-то покрутить. Например, меня. Ой, Севир второго. А просто шикарно, шикарно. Только, конечно, начался не ММ, ну ладно.
Ничего личного.
Так, у меня есть... А. Так, сколько уже? 2 часа ночи. Залупа. Ладно, еще одну катку, я думаю, мы успеем сводить. Там посмотрим. Ренингтон. Что у нас сейчас за залупа получается? Нам нужно 2 рейнджера. У нас на поле... А это не рейнджер, это кто? Пустыня и мастер клинка. Понятно. То есть, в принципе, мне не нужны будут хищники, так как они мне вдвоем ни хера не дают. Уже будет полезнее рейнджеров закачать. Если, конечно, успею. А так вообще планирую. Да, мне 100% хищников нужно качать. Ой, точнее нет, наоборот, не хищников. Так, ну Мальфита мы убиваем. Нет, тут мы выиграем. Тут все хорошо.
Ничего серьезного. Всего лишь смерть.
Волки. Так вот поменяем. Что я сделал? Вот. Сиону можно взять. Мы Захара он Наутилуса мы продадим. Не хват... Ну, блин. Ну, Реника можно убрать, я думаю. Вообще волны крипов, тут это полнейшее дерьмо даже. Ты тут типа вряд ли можешь вообще проиграть. Вон, тут куча монет насыпало мне. Сейчас ни одного предмета, конечно. Так, поехали вот так оставляем опять. Что мы имеем? Киндред вторую можем апнуть. Так, этот вряд ли у меня будет третьего. Давайте попробуем.
Хотя многие пытаются.
Ла-ла-ла. Что за херня? Дайте мне кого-нибудь годного. Ага, спасибо, ура. Спасибо, ура. Залало. Вот, Сиона может. Да, главное вовремя отлагать. Так, Азир мне уже не нужен. Минус Севир сейчас будет, скорее всего. Ну да. Не, это просрал. Ага, фламин. Хм. Может так вот сделать? М? Этого продать?
Нет лекарства от глупости.
Беги от мороза.
Рингтона мы в любом случае оставим. Киндред мне до второго апнуть, тогда было вообще шикарно. Так пока такое себе. Блин, она себе щит наклала. Не, ну мы-то вытащим, но... А не, нормально урона нанесли. Скарнер, не, мы скорее всего его потом продадим.
Сегодня судьба.
Эш второго. Ясно. Так, мы имеем 2 кристалла. Мы, получается, имеем Киндред. Вот это сейчас будет имбово. Мы убираем вот этого вот ящера. В смысле? Нет, все правильно. Ставим Киндред. Так вот их расставляем. По идее, должны сейчас всех валить. Тут Когмау есть, только какой-то жесткий, более-менее. Но тут танков должны быстро разваливать, да. Все, мне остались только предметы, а так, в принципе, мне сборка отличная. Так, что там по пабгу? Есть инфа. G, G, G-Sports. Так, что мне надо? Мне нужен... Ой, мастера мне дайте. Лес. Конечно. Ага, мастера уже кто-то спиздил. Ну, от Рокс, наверное, возьмем. Хотя нужно было, блядь, брать вот этого, продавать и брать с него шмотку. А это броня. Такое себе. Блин, он Yi с топовым шмотом взял. Не, ну мастер клинка это, конечно, хорошо. Но я, наверное, его продам. Так вот, на фиаре брони. Так вот, может, как-нибудь. 3 Браума, лол.
Нет лекарства от глупости.
У меня уже давно было на второго. Кстати, сейчас лучше не тратить, на самом деле, монетки, это я туплю. Мне ж нужно левел качать. Сейчас я просрал, конечно. Ну, такое. Я Шмаль Захар второго из сумраки. Сумраков у меня хватает. Все в порядке. Так вот сейчас проапаем. Наверное, вот так их даже выставим. Не знаю, может эту книгу завязать. Он этот отлет... Не, смотри, еще живет. 15 скорости атаки, у него лук есть. Когда владелец наносит урон своему ущемлению, он поджигает. Отлично, стадия крипов. В принципе. Можно было троих бы выкупить, но я не знаю, выгодно это или нет. Бла-бла-бла-бла. Типа на ясу, я не знаю. Пусть будет на Реник, у него вообще есть свободные арты потом. 21 здоровье у меня, у всех остальных там вообще полу. Так, Лютю, продаем вот это вот. Это берем, вот это берем. О, хорошо, кстати, неплохой предмет выпал. О, что у нас получается? Ага, тут у нас получается вот так. Что поставить? 108, 99. Ля, так Индра даже не дотягивает со своим вторым левелом. Владелец также становится берсерком. Ну такое, не, наверное, лучше пока на Киндред накину. Тут у типа очень много войск, но в принципе у него дальников почти нет. Лично это победа. Что, будем выкомбэчивать, что ли? Ща, ой, как много сразу посливалось-то. Twitch. Не, паб, кстати, пока еще не начался. Оп. Мальзахара берем. Пока у нас, в принципе, все идет зашибись, вроде бы. Так, ну чё, ребят, ждем финал Pubg Invitational. Ну мы что, халявное худи получить, это святое. Блин, на Севир напал, вот дерьмо. Он сразу закрысил на Севир. И на Эш сразу. Тут я могу просрать на самом деле. Да, так и получается. Блин. Кто у нас злой твик? Обидно. Так, Сир у меня и так второго. Следующий будет круг. У меня уже есть еще один Сион, кстати, один маленький. То есть мне еще нужно 2 Сиона. Вот так сделаем, наверное. Так, Вигар у меня должен потом идти для того, чтобы было 4 сумрака. Либо Мастер Yi. Либо я сейчас въебу просто 10 хп у меня. Ну чё, как получается? Не, я въебу. Забей. Это ГГ. 5-е место. Сет был идеален. Если бы еще Yi не забирали, тогда бы вообще было отлично. Квалификация 4 с 5. Ладно, может уже до последней дойдем. Давайте. Пабджипан. Ой, ребят. Начался уже стрим первый. Это что у нас? Через 11 минут стартует день, первый матч, первый гранд, сука, финал. Гранд, сука, финал. Если что, я ставил на Скирборд, Пабглига. Я ставил на ТСМ. Если ТСМ ебут, то не ебут. Все просто. Пабглига. Винер. Вича. ТСМ. Я считаю, что ТСМ должны сейчас ебать просто. Я не знаю, как вообще ставить в этой игре, я в эту игру не играю, но я думаю, они выебут. Ой, Pubg Sports ведет прямую трансляцию. Ой, ля какое. Давайте посмотрим. А тут 27 минут, тут сука. Это, кстати, нечестно. Это несправедливо. Что тут тогда 9 минут? Добавить мой канал, создать расширение, Pubg Лига. Группа С. Так, у нас нашло рейтинг. А я не понял, я типа могу ставить, я же не могу ставить, зачем мне эта информация? Да блять. Ты ебучий провод от интернета. Я не знаю, что мне сделать для того, чтобы у меня не задевался ебучий провод от интернета. Меня это уже бесит. Я, кстати, не знаю, на ютубе можно Twitch стримить или нет. По-моему, нет. Особенно StarLadder. Английский, по-моему, можно. StarLadder нет. А если мы включим озвучку StarLadder, мы будем смотреть английский стрим. Будет не самым тупым, не самой тупой идеей. Так, ну чё, кого возьмем? Возьмем. Вот сучка, мне его спиздили. Самое дерьмо осталось, ой боже. Ну ладно, Мали Захарова возьмем, да и пофиг. Тоже пойдет, только жаль, что он с броней, конечно, ну ладно. Дрынис там в КС играет, я понял. Так, и что мне выпадает? Юпочка. Вообще на игру, по-моему, должно быть 3 стратегии, ну пофигу. Ну, призывателя еще одного можно зафигарить. Потом Насуса можно будет, нет? Как танках уже. А чё мне выпало? Малибиру. Продаем сразу. Ну, свет нужно сразу 3. Так что не, наверное. От света нам потом нужно будет отказаться. Ну, ребят, короче, гранд-финал, матч первый. Эрангель, сынок, Мирамар. Ну да, получается 6-й матч, последний, это будет Мироман у нас. Так, Диана, Инферно, убийца, бла-бла-бла, да не, херня одна. 20 ману можно ему, в принципе, взять. Примыкающих врагов. Бесполезно, ну ладно. Ну, Роксай вроде как неплохой на начале. Оба он не был левел, и он танчит неплохо. Диана такое себе. Ну, у него уже 2 вторых левела, тут типа проебы по-любому. Если бы у меня хотя бы одна двойка была хотя бы. Так это бред. Даже так, да? Что, допустим, мы возьмем Джакса. И чё, сильно это поможет? Хищник. Ну, вот, допустим, еще одного хищника возьмем. 3 минуты. 3 минуты. У меня походу опять какая-то херня с челюстью, ну ладно. А сливают вообще где-то демки, я не знаю, где посмотреть можно. Просто было бы намного лучше, если посмотрели. Как там его? Без демок.
Нас ждет жатва.
Но вряд ли такое там есть. Можно слить демку полезно. Твиттер, Инстаграм, Ютуб. Не, походу нету. Минута. Север нужно брать 100%. Конечно, это мне та еще залупа, ну пойдет. Больше было бланку, конечно, вместо этому взять, ну такое. Или Сиона. Не, Сион с броней тоже такое себе. Чё, ну давай что-нибудь топовое под... Оп. Мальзахар второго. Я второго Зайра. Этого мы возьмем. Это мы продадим. Так сделаем. Итак. Жена с первого, да? Ну как-то так, наверное. А, нужно было Сир сюда поставить. У него только одна двойка. У него Вигар с жестким дамагом. Че, мы даже Мальзахара не добьем, что ли? Не, лол. Просто начали не потому пинать. Опа, начинается, ребят, начинается. То давайте продадим. Чё, поехали? Global Invitational Final. Так, сопротивление магии. Не, такое. Персонажи-то охуело, что ли?
Overwhelming comeback stories like FaZe having the greatest game in perhaps Pubg history to teams like Rumblers who are playing with house money from the moment they dropped and are here and have nothing to lose. I can't wait to see what these guys bring.
Invitational.
We're gonna have a pro league. This is what every player, every team has been working for, to be here at this grand stage right now.
The combination of 9 competitive regions, more than 700 players, more than 180 teams have put the 16 teams here. I'm extremely excited to get started, guys.
No, absolutely. There's a lot to talk about here in the pre-show to get things going, as well as eventually truly unveiling everything that is about to occur here over the next 2 days. Froz, by the way, I'm really liking your bow tie. Do appreciate that you put in some of the effort, liking that a lot. We're going to be talking about a few of these teams. We're going to be talking about the prize pool. We're going to talk about every little facet of this tournament as a whole here. But when you look at the scale of this and how we've come from 2 years ago, we were here, Avenger, on this stage, the same arena. 2 years ago is where PUBG Lands truly began in the Western world, and it's crazy how far we've come.
We've come extremely far, and also Frost is
Я, конечно, могу ошибаться, но помню, мне только что выпало одно говно.
Frost is here, 10 kilos here. We're all here. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And we have actually 7 players who was also here 2 years ago, so that's extremely exciting as well.
I mean, I think that's the reality of it is things have changed dramatically. You know, last time we were here in Oakland, it was a bunch of players in cubicles behind us. We were learning how to watch the game, how to play the game, and now we've perfected it.
Чё, мы крипов не заберем, что ли? Они вроде должны забирать. Не, крипов мы заберем все-таки. Ух ты. Раз продаем, 2 продаем, 3 продаем. Чё, ребят? Уди получаем, да?
And these are the 16 teams that are going to be representing. Again, bear in mind, across the last 2 weeks, we started with 32 teams. The trophy itself shows we started with those 32 teams, and we broke it down to the 16 pieces that is then crafted down to, and one of those teams is going to be able to hoist this trophy high. It's a world-class lineup across the board here, Toppies.
I mean, that's the reality of it. It's no longer negotiable who's the... Are they really the best, right? No one was invited. The best got here through a year of qualifications. They had to go through 3 stages to get their spot here. If you walk away...
Север все равно не успеет ману накопить. Ты себя что, уже все? А, нет. Уже охренел.
I mean, GX is a team a lot of people look down on, but they are here now. People put them for second place before the tournament even started, but they can show up big, and I mean, we just gotta see what they can do.
OGN Enter's Force is one of the big heavy hitters from the South Korean region.
Мастера клинка у меня и так 2 стоит. А вот это вот можно попробовать. Я до сих пор не понимаю, по какой логике.
less than I expected them to. In the group stages, we saw
Какой
them
логики
dominate
Севир
their
не
own
рейнджер?
in
Вы мне
the PL.
объясните.
So I'm expecting more from them here. I hope they have perfected their strategy and they're ready.
У рейнджеры все те, кто стрелы пускают или что?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely so.
Странно.
Move on briefly here to VC Gaming as they've been able to play things out.
А, Реннингтон не успел ни хера сделать.
I didn't have much hope for VC Gaming. They qualified at the very beginning of
По-моему, мы просрали. Мы даже того типа не добили, яс.
They've been able to put the groundwork in and push it further.
I mean, I was on the same boat as you. I said there's no way. They qualified early. They've been struggling. PCL summer was disastrous for them, and yet they came out and they put it together. And I think this goes to show that in this game it's about teamwork and dynamics. And yes, you're behind, but if you commit to the right positive mentality, they brought that here. You can thrive no matter how tough your year was, kind of leading into it.
You nearly counted them out.
I 100% counted them out.
Ясу второго. Реня готовится. Это можем продать, взять Эш.
Red cannons like Froz proved to be lactose intolerant.
Yeah, because milk destroyed him.
Sorry, Froz, for just, divulging all of this information about you specifically.
Now everybody knows.
There you go, you're a lactose intolerant. Let's take a look at Tempo Storm as well here in the pre-show. I guess we can have a little fun, that's how this is gonna go. Tempo Storm.
Стоп, у меня разве не было второй Севир? А, вот он.
That was the house that Tempo Storm built. And now here, they're not necessarily in the house that they built, but they're still looking to try and push it further here for North America.
I mean, this is last time that we played an international event on American soil. They won. They did a great job there. So they do maybe have home field advantage, but they felt shaky.
Well, they did play here in IMO as well, and they got the second place back then.
That's true.
One player is still remaining on that team, and
Хищники, кстати.
still on that team playing here.
И
And
яд.
of course, towards the end of the semi-finals, we had that magical moment for FaZe Clan, which it was a redemption moment for them, of course. They got themselves to 16th place after being dead last Avenger with that ridiculous
Так,
game.
наверное,
Absolutely
сделаем.
historical moment. I'm happy that we had a week break before here because I lost my voice just screaming after that game. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, let's take a look at how the leaderboard did shape up for the semi-finals. Do bear in mind, we lost 8 teams during this stage itself. And just barely squeaked in towards the very end.
Нет,
They were
Твича мы
absolutely
продадим.
historic the way they did do it. Now, Lazarus, of course, first
Твич
place.
мне не
That is
сильно нужен.
massive for them and massive for North America.
Yeah, what region was that in the top of the leaderboard?
Такой же редкий, как и Эш.
Doesn't matter because that was the semifinals.
It does. That's the thing about Lazarus. Is we haven't talked about them, ad nauseum at this
Что
point. The
выходит?
reality is, when we go back to London, the last time that all of the international
Надо
teams were brought
скорости
together,
атаки.
they finished in second place. These guys have a championship pedigree,
Не,
a championship
не
training
подойдет.
system, and a brand new coach who has
Так
a
нужно
totally
сделать.
time-minded system of just rotations, and I think it's working really, really well.
We're going to get a better opportunity to talk about them in a little bit's time here. We already talked about GEX just a smidge there, just whilst we were looking at that. And obviously, Lazarus getting first place and QM getting second place. I think some people...
Не, я просрал опять, короче, в задницу.
Let's be honest, the first semifinal day they played, they got 26 points. But the second one, they got 71 because they were basically...
Я не понимаю, как в это играть.
They need to gather a lot of points and they wanted to get as much as possible. And they kind of went over what they normally do and just went for every fight they could get, more or less. And that's the key of success for them.
Some of the stories you heard as well was that when these guys played online, people didn't believe them. Then they came to LAN and dominated as well, like, oh my god, these guys are amazing.
They were so good, people thought they were cheating. And then they were at LAN and they're like, oh, they are still really good. Oh, damn it, I guess we're going to have to revere them quite highly. So that in itself is quite kind of the notion behind a team like that.
Что за бред?
Obviously, there's some big heavy hitters coming out of China, like 4AM, like VC, have proved themselves to be, but QM
Ладно.
there as well.
I mean, they are.
Okay.
Everybody's been talking about 4AM's incredible day at 77, but like you said, QM got 71 in a spot. So that is 2 teams coming out of the same region that can just absolutely dominate here, especially if they have a good game 1.
Starting to focus on some of these teams that were able to really stand out for one reason or another. One of them absolutely 100% categorically was Lazarus. And to some people, they
Сможет ли мой Реннингтон третьего что после этого закомбачить?
That's fair because of how that went down. But Lazarus shone throughout the semi-finals and fully deserved their first
Да не,
place.
уже, наверное, полностью.
Yes, they should have had a lot of hype after sort of finishing in first and surprising people. Purdy Curdy, who's also the shot caller, fragging out of his mind. the fact is, though, they're probably okay with FaZe getting the hype because it means no one looked at them. They can go on with their business. They can keep it low key. They can train the way that they do. And I'll tell you what, if Luke 12 turns that knob from sort of 7 that he's been at up to 10, I think Lazarus is unstoppable.
I like that you mentioned Purdy there, actually, that he was fragging out. I think that was one of the key moments that made Lazarus so good during this tournament, because we don't see Purdy actually fragging out that
Может кого-то, кто мне поможет, не?
He will make the calls, but he won't be as greedy for the kills.
Let's take a look at 4am as well here. This is a team that we watched through that first day of the
То у меня еще мастер клинка остался.
And they're a scary team to
Ah,
reckon
yeah.
with. They're a team that is very storied as well, Avenger, when it comes to even just a global stage, never mind their own regional stage.
Yeah, we saw Godby or Velas, who is he called here. He was at PGI last year, and now they performed extremely well. Actually, all the 3 Chinese teams, they performed extremely well, but they had a really good day, and then they had a slightly worse day. And if they fix that, they have like 2 good days here, they're gonna take everything home.
Круто.
Absolutely, they are the people's champ. We've dubbed them
Так,
the
вот
people's
сразу
champ
делаем.
throughout this, and it is completely fair to say, with how many votes, how many people are
Ой,
behind them,
кровопийца.
a lot of people are rooting for their success.
I mean, I think people are definitely rooting for their success, it's
Сумрак.
clear, but another team that everyone's
Нет.
rooting for is going to be Gen
Атрокс тоже пока рано.
sort of at PGI performed very well.
Индред
Theo
только
joined the team
апнулась.
recently, and he was a superstar in his region, but I'm going to be honest,
Ясу.
since he got here over the last couple of weeks, I felt like he's not been
Да,
himself.
блядь, мне все они так-то нужны, типа, но...
Because as much as PNC, especially Froz, we saw PO as that guy that really did stand out. The rest of the team has had their moments of absolute brilliance here at the tournament.
The only time we are
Щит, я не поменял их местами. Ой, бля.
Except for that, I feel like it's all about timing, it's all about Esther, it's all about Loki.
Чё, мы еще и затащим?
Loki and Esther in this situation, for example,
Лол.
fragging out, taking out Navi all by himself, it was just a wonderful play from them.
Ну тут я, конечно,
He's
тупанул.
actually one of the players that's have the most knock time, so he's been on his knees a lot, and I'm afraid that if he kind of goes away from the rest of them instead of playing together, then it could end up badly for them.
And then the team that kind of broke the semi-finals, FaZe Clan, they were in dead last, and then they were able to rise up through one game alone with 18 kills to get themselves into 16th place. Now, we should mention that their semi-finals for us was anything but spectacular. In fact, it was bad for FaZe Clan.
They didn't play for 11 games, but this is why FaZe Clan is one of the best teams in the world. They never give up. Down to the last kill, they knew that they had to have the greatest game ever. And, I mean, they just pulled it off, right? They took every fight, even if they were not in the upper hand there, they would still take it because they knew we need to get every kill to be able to qualify.
А чё мне больше не падает Ремингтон? Я вот этого понять не могу. У него же говно юнит, я ж должен затащить, правильно? У него их много, но они все дерьмо. Да, я затащил. Так, еще продержаться одного типа и будет уже выбор одного типа. Рейнджер, конечно, у меня до сих пор один на поле, ну ладно. Не самое худшее. Один раз прокручу. Нихера.
Giving, like not caring and just walking and sweeping the ground for kills.
And of course, some players did stand out throughout the finals as well as the tournament as a whole. And Purdy is one of the guys from Lazarus that completely earned this #1 spot.
I mean, there's no other way around it. He's leading the team. He's the brainchild who sits down with the coach. Like literally, Gunnar says, "This is the timing that someone's going to be here. This is a compound that 4am wants," and he doesn't have to, you know, sit there and memorize it. He's able to retain that information and quantify it very comfortably for the rest of his team. On top of that, he's making the leadership and kills, and that to me is mind-boggling.
For me,
Так, и что получается? Мы вроде тащим, да. Хорошо.
And when we take a look at this overall with the amount of damage that was done by some of these names, I would say that some of these are a little bit unexpected as we came into the tournament, but a lot of people stepped up to the challenge for us and were very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, forever, and CGG was not the main names that people were looking at on 4am. It was Waylon, so God, as we knew him as before. But at the same time, this is what we're talking about. It's not just about one star player. This is a
Все равно
team.
нет того,
It
кто
comes
мне
down to
нужен.
a team working together. And the damage, I mean,
Можно
doesn't
было
mean
либо лук
everything.
взять,
You
либо
can't
этот
make that into knocks
меч.
and
Наверное,
kills
меч
afterwards.
взял
That's
бы.
the truth. I mean, that's why you saw Purdy with the kill count, because Lazarus has made it an art form to yoink knocks, and that's, you saw those damage totals. They're getting the knocks, but teams like Lazarus who have practiced it are stealing those at an incredible rate.
Я еще и не первый вылетел, ого. Как тип 6 хп, так же как и я, живет, конечно, интересно. Так, все, мы Захаров, мы всех продали, да. Так, не, Эни мы продаем сразу.
That's fair to say, but TSM did show some of tendencies. Yeah, and I think again, a team game is that TSM, all of the guys enable each other to play well.
Ясуо, щит. Щит, 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 щит. Так можно... Ой, блядь, что я сделал? И вот так. Так, это сейчас один из топовых типов, а ну-ка. Сможем вытащить или такое? Блядь, не смогли. О, да ладно. Фу, хорошо. Ладно, неплохо. Скорость атаки примыкающих врагов. Не знаю. Может, на Ремингтона юзнуть?
Take those clutch moments. Sometimes you're gonna be by yourself, but you're still gonna need to get those points to the team itself.
Let's move on here because we have another name to talk about, and as much as FaZe did not have the best of times in the semi-finals, they are still here. And you have a name like Uber, who is currently
Блять, кого-нибудь.
biggest win streaks in PUBG history when it comes to tournaments, Avenger.
I mean, phase 2, GLL, PNC, phase
Это рофл, мне типа больше не будет падать Ремингтон.
That would be absolutely insane. But they have to step up the game. They have to roll off the momentum they did in the last game and not play like they did.
Серьезно, да? Хорошо. Не, без проблем. А чё, зачем? Один Ремингтон не будет падать мне всю игру, в принципе. Конечно. Как же еще может быть, а? Ну из-за этого я просираю. Охерительно. Я уверен, что если бы я выкрутил, то я тоже его не получил, ну ладно. Ладно, пофиг, там уже папка начинает. Так, ну я постримлю, а там забанит, не забанит, пофигу. Что, давайте, еще 2 минуты.
If they want to win this thing, which they obviously will, is that they need to be able to play together. And they need to enable PU to be this kind of turret, but instead of letting him kind of run off on his own and try to make these clutch plays.
You say enable PO, I think PO needs to pull it back. He's been separated from his team. He's been pushing too aggressively. He's scouting and calling at the same time, and I think it's been too much. He needs to get consolidated. He needs to work as a unit.
Может реально пробовать. На демку лайт, что ли?
We also have our Korean and Chinese broadcasts on stage as well. Hey, it's us first. I didn't actually expect that. Okay, so
Winner prediction TSM.
Have a varied opinion.
FaZe,
I had absolutely no
Lazarus и GM Gaming.
And it landed on QM, boys. What are your justifications?
Way to not stand behind your prediction. I picked Lazarus because I do genuinely, second off of the Face It Classic, I think they've shown brilliance here, and they are the kind of team that can bounce back and be consistent.
Ага, Pubg какое-то обновление, смотри-ка.
They need to keep on doing that as well. And look at this.
We have Pansy and Sims getting ready to cast the first game. Pansy has gone with FaZe and Sims has gone with Na'Vi. A little bit of pride.
Опа, у меня будильник сработал на 3 часа ночи.
I'm sorry guys, I might have let the side down here slightly. What do you think, Avenger?
Well, I think Richard going.
Нужно
with
было
as well. He was
отключить, я
right
просто
at
дал.
PNC, and I think it's a bold call, but we'll see.
Wait, Richard was right at the very end. I'm just going to point that out. I know he can hear me, and I know he can't retort, so take that, Rich. Boro, Matrim, Xenox, and Paper Thin in the back. A lot of Lazarus supporters. I know that Xenox was the bearer of the curse during the semi-finals.
It's the worst.
So does that kind of dissuade your opinion?
I was on a plane about to take off when we put our votes in, and I saw Xenox pick Lazarus and screamed in fury.
Here's our Korean commentators as well. Hello, guys. Annyeonghaseyo. As we have Genji, we have CJ Entus and CJ Entus predictions coming in. Any surprises there?
Well, as we saw at PNC as well, it was very biased towards the Koreans, but they're also playing well. If Force managed to kind of get to the PKL level over, or Gen D managed to enable PO, then we'll see.
And we have our Chinese crew as well up there. Miss Joy as well, actually going for FaZe.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Great
like it.
Good
Breaking the trend.
Let's
Чё
go,
за
Joy,
херня?
let's go.
And then, of course, 4 a.m.
Right.
I mean, it's even far from a bold prediction, considering how much power they have come into the tournament with. It is a very, very strong pick.
I mean, they seem unstoppable, but for me, the big thing is that FaZe has been picked over and over again, and that speaks to the pedigree of the team and how long they've been a powerhouse, not in the region, but in the world. Because, honestly, watching them play last weekend, none of us should have picked them. But the reality is, any game, anytime, these guys can destroy.
It's missing one team, though. I picked TSM.
You picked TSM?
Yeah.
But there was only so many that we could fit on it.
Couldn't fit anymore.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, well, we are almost ready here, ladies and gentlemen, so a huge thank you for tuning in so far. It's time for the opening ceremony.
Поехали! 44. А, ну ладно, пока это в принципе диктовать не будем. Девять, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Бу-бу-бу. Бу-бум. ЛПЦГ 2019, что за хер? Как бы мне нельзя? А, стоп, что началось или не началось? Ребята, поехали! Ой-ой-ой, ой-ой-ой. Так, пока мне нужно, наверное, как-то, я не знаю, можно мне как-то войти или нет? Обзор. Нет, я только могу вот так вот делать. Быстрая игра, пользовательский матч. Ясно. Скорее всего, это какой-то азиатский был. А у обычных его нет. Ой, не, ну обычно в принципе до хера всего, так что я не знаю. Не, я короче не могу как демку найти, если честно. Ну, походу так. Только придется, да. Ну ща тогда секунду. Опа, поехали. Так, ну чё. Ну чё у нас? Так, ну музыка годная, на самом деле. Ладно, может тогда закрыть паб, в принципе. Кто? О! Дебилы. Как это рофильно выглядит, когда они стоят тупо за компами.
Got metal in my hands, we roll, yeah, you keep coming on. We have to scroll, yeah, rise up to the sky. The enemy is here, we win or die. We win or die. Win or die. To win or die. This is the moment you want, so yeah. Stand united.
Лан опять транслирует. О, ТСМ. Не, ну конечно не The International, но пойдет. А я не понимаю, кстати, по какой логике их вот так вот расставляют, чтобы камеры на кого-то больше наводились, а кто-то вот так вот выходил, еще как-то. Разве не кого-то показывают больше, а кого-то меньше? Нет? Если я так перейду, то есть... О, что там происходит? Сейчас я кое-что проверю. Не, dodge down, кстати. Ну чё, ой. Полетели. Ну, такое. Можно же было сделать лучше. Ого. А ну-ка, кубок мне покажите. Ну, кубок зачетный. Да, кубок годный.
We're not supported by an organization
Ёп,
or anything.
ты шо вы
We play for
натворили?
ourselves under a name that we made up ourselves. So it'd be a really good feeling to prove people that even if we didn't
Да
have the
где
support,
игра-то,
we keep
алло?
fighting just as a team, as
Кстати, мне
friends,
же нужно
and
на
make it
ютубе
a
еще
top one of
встретить.
PUBG. It'd be a great feeling.
我觉得如果想要为了冠军奋斗的话，我觉得最重要的是团队的氛围吧。
大家都是互相信任的话，我们应该有机会吧。
아직까지 세계에 베이스가 많이 알려져 있지 않은데 정말 제대로
But even if we didn't have the support of our
저희가 첫 해외 대회이다 보니까 배우는 마음으로
Или это не оно?
생각하시는데 무조건 1등만을 바라보고 가고 있습니다.
The hunt is on. The spray comes through, and the EU Giants.
As this is the biggest event of the year, we have pressure, but different teams, they're playing with us actually, as they'll feel like way more pressure than us.
우승을 했던 팀이 우승을 할 수 있다 생각하고 디펜딩이라기보다는 저희가 다시 빼앗는다라고 생각하는 게 조금 더 편한 것 같아요.
Genji, every single time you doubt them, they just turned it on, and a big performance coming out of that last game. You can see they're all going to line up. The sprays come through. There's one. There's a second. Purdy does go down, but grenade's going to come out. That should easily connect up into it.
Our confidence comes from consistent play, whether it be in MPL or at Face It in London after Phase 1 where we got second as STK. It just comes from consistency, and if you're not confident, you already lost before you stepped on the stage.
다른 팀들은 어떻게 생각하는지 모르겠는데 저희는 일단 절대 안 질 생각으로 하기 때문에 올해 정말 열심히 한 만큼 꼭 1등하고 싶습니다.
Gonna be Pio going for the low angle. Nice exchange coming back from Gustav. Johnson goes for another one.
I think this event is very important for us. Not only is it our first event, but it's the biggest event, and we want to prove that we're one of the best teams in the world.
I think our biggest strength as a team is that we'll get in situations where we should win a game and we'll close the game out and win it. We're a team where when we get in those positions where we should win, we'll always win. And that's a big part of PUBG. You're always supposed to win the games that you're supposed to win.
很谢谢粉丝们的支持，然后你们的祝福我们都有收到，把每一场发挥到最厉害。对，那真的是非常谢谢你们的祝福。
Our team has been dominant for the last 4 months, and we will win this tournament as well.
진짜 젠지가 어느 정도 강한 팀인지 꼭 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
Ребята, я, конечно, вас не обрадую, но Нави не выиграют этот турнир.
In this groups into the semis, but now here for the grand final, it is time for that big
Ну это так,
fight
по секрету.
feel as these 16 teams here look to become a world champion. We're back at the analysis desk, but we're not going to be here for long, ladies and gentlemen, because I am hyped, I am pumped to get into this grand final. It's 12 games, it is do or die, and it is so important for all of these teams to become a world champion.
I mean, you saw it up there, the opening ceremony. We got to see every single team sort of take the stage, phase in the center of it all, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about this week, is there's still a lot of eyes on them to see, can they start this thing big? Can they hoist the trophy that they didn't get a chance to last year?
The big thing is to hoist the trophy, to get that glory. And I mean, it's only down to one thing. Don't have any bad games. We're only going to do a best of 12 here. You don't want to have those 0-point games.
If that opening ceremony didn't give you a feel hype moment, then I don't know what's happening here. But this, I am extremely excited to get this started, guys. I'm lost of words after seeing this opening ceremony.
Yeah, it's big. It is big indeed here. All of these teams, again, we have an absolute world-class, world-caliber roster of teams here available. This team on screen right now, Rumblers, was originally not even meant to be here, and now they find themselves in the top 16.
Any Rumblers? I mean, that's it. They came out, they said, we got nothing to lose. They said, hey, $4,000 for playing. Like, if we lose, we lose. And now they're at the big show. I think they're going to come out and maybe surprise a lot of people by not caring in terms of just putting everything on the stage.
Devil came in, may care.
Yes,
I
and
like
I
it
think
a lot.
sometimes you need that in a 12-game series.
Yeah, maybe. Other teams that we're looking at here to try and kind of upset the balance, a team like OGN enters Ace, or CJ enters Ace here, is a team that coming in, we didn't have too many expectations for, but I think across the groups and across the semis, they kind of beat out a lot of the hype that Force was supposed to take. Is that fair to say?
If you look at the Korean teams that are still here right now, you have OGN Ace, you have Force, you have Gen G, and you have T1.
Yep.
Ace is the team who has accumulated most points during the group stage and the semifinals together. So I mean, that shows you how good of a team they are. And they've just been taking it easy, you know. They don't want to spare themselves everything right now. They're waiting here until now, the grand finals.
Avenger, thoughts?
Honestly, I'm excited to see if, for example, Rondos, they can fix the Sanak games. We have seen
good point.
We've seen teams be extremely good on one day. But if one team starts off great, if we have a team that starts with 2-3 good games, they could bully the rest out of the lobby. They will be that
Что вообще снимал, я даже не ему.
That's gonna happen, or we're gonna have
the major regions from around the world, the larger regions as are represented. Two of our teams come from the smaller regions, of course. I was going to start with you, but it doesn't matter because we head to the commentary team for
you, James, and what an honor it is. Building block.
Can really say enough when you sit here and and in a best of 12 scenario, $1 million.
Of the game now. We can afford to that standard, to that caliber of not making errors. To rise and hold under such monumental pressure. Also to you guys at home, tuning in around the world, those in Europe staying up to the wee hours in the morning, to the North American fans cheering for their teams. We finally have some real champions to stand by. And the rest of the world, we wait to watch as the group is away. Lion's share of the prize pool games. So look yourselves in the area all the way to start.
There is no better way to say it happened that we took the best 32 the system it's been put in place. This tournament. It gives us the teams that we needed. We then a real
and there's no more excuses. It's time now. The teams look phenomenal stepping out on that stage, but now they need the performance to match that. Who are you looking at here in game one?
I'm looking at all 16 teams. It's as simple as that. You
Fair play.
cannot have a bad game, because if you do, you are putting yourself at the mercy of not raising that trophy by the end of it. You have to play perfect PUBG, game for game, round for round, bullet for bullet. If you die, you are giving points away to your opponent. It's as simple as that. You're not just losing points, you're losing points to enemies. Everybody is going to be chasing those points. Because there's a huge drop-off from first place to second. I know money's not all about everything, but there is a substantial difference.
Absolutely, and I look at FaZe and you think that's waiting to take them to the ball anymore. There's not enough games for them to mess around. around with. TSM, for example, a team called My Eye, came out firing on all cylinders. Rory, no longer the cup. He's up in bear status, will break himself. He is playing out of his mind. We need more macro stab the same. All of them huge plays leading into this.
Across their 18 games following all of these teams, TSM, they're actually second place if you do want to cut it down to fine points and finite systems as such. Every single team has a lot to lose, every single team has a lot to win. And it all begins now with game number 1.
It's time, the planes in the air, ladies and gents. Strap yourself in for what is going
Опа,
to be
началось.
display from South
И Энфи сразу падает в пизду.
is there, the players that drop the ball. You're seeing teams going back to their original choice spots.
This is the thing when you've lost all these, we've lost 16 teams, you can start to look at all the little mini players. You'll have the coaches, the analysis, the team leaders.
Let's
Take a
go,
look at the land
Avi.
and the map and where people have essentially opened up. FaZe Clan should be now
Ребят,
back
знаете,
to
в чем
home turf.
проблема?
We've lost a freak of freaks.
Я
That
захотел
opens that
срать.
system up. TSM, Milton for them, job. It is on the ground, bootstrapped in. We have to look at the Rumblers. Where will they drop now? Do they adjust themselves? Because as Toffee spoke about on the desk, this is house money for them. This is big money. Every single place and advancement they go in this competition, their bank balance just gets a little bit bigger.
Yep, and eyes initially towards Entus Force, dropping down on the Millie Island themselves. Going to have the first feet on the ground, boots on the ground, and going to get the loot building. Now, the circle will present obviously varying issues for wherever you drop, but for now, you're going to see everyone get to place. This looks like a little bit of a potential close fight to start with. This could be huge. Enters Ace on the other side. Going to get the first glimpse, first bullets to come through, but no connections. Can they disengage? Can they find enough to find that first fight?
We'd expect them to disengage. Circle
Wow.
pops. We
There it
are
is.
going to Sosnovka, and for a team like Na'Vi that usually goes across the bridge, well, they have just bailed and said, you know what, let's get a good foothold on here. Let's get a good stronghold and a position. That's a prime bit of territory where they will be on the edge of that bridge. That denies anyone else an entry point to come further afield. We'll pause on that and go back to this because we've got a little bit of a stalemate. Expect the passive play. Remember, with only 12 games in front of you, every single death puts you at a disadvantage. So you will expect these teams to kind of hold fire because survivability is key.
True, and it is a 3v2 in current scenario. Let's keep it as what it is. You've got Leo and Kane here for GEX up against Entus Ace, who have 3 of their players. Very light weaponry on both sides. You could argue GEX has the greater loot, but then again, these SMGs, they are potent and powerful up close and personal. So the Vector could do some damage. Reinforcements coming in. I'm pretty sure I saw Sophia potentially picking up maybe an M24 before. You can see the silent roll in, but it's been spotted. First shots come through the SLR. Handy at this point for Ace to pop off a couple of shots and try and keep things in mind here.
Comp on the front, but no real sight on the back. They're holding for now, and maybe Sophia's just looking for bait on a new angle.
That's a big angle actually for Sophia. So they've got a lovely little ridgeline there.
The VSS at this point will be,
24.
remember, they shouldn't have armor, Lauren. They'll be lacking it, so initially any shot to the head is going to put them on the floor.
Yeah, you can see Sophia being a little
How's he got
careful.
it 3 times?
I'm glad that there's a bit of caution to this because I only see 3 players. So where is that 4th for Entus Ace? Low ground potential flank coming through. They're going to wind up the pressure. That could be contact on Leo.
That's the Warner.
Holding for now.
That's the Warner. This pushes them downwind now. They know they can't eject from the front of the building. It's a beautiful spot to take those ridges and now hold it with the 3. Not many scenarios will we be saying this, but the VSS, Lauren, it could be absolutely pivotal in this engagement.
100%. We saw a couple of players toying with it. Those early fights, it comes through because the armor is not there. And to say, there's the final player. I was wondering where their 4th currently was residing. We've located them. Just sending it to try and get towards the rest of the squad. Find a new angle to provide maybe some alleviation from this pressure, but you can see how tense this is for both sides. The Korean team trying to put all of their players in a good place, silently rolling up. A little bit of the 416, so does have the capability. Not sure what's on the back. You got the Mini. Very capable, well looted, 2'd up. That could be a big swing point here.
It's not reloaded. Please do it, because you're going to really upset me if not, if you do have to pull that out. Initial
Wait,
grenade.
first smokes, Rich. We do have a bit of a push in. Nade comes in. They're going for this.
Second
It looks like
one's here.
GX. There's the nade up towards the stairwell. Jai Wei moving in under the cover, under the supervision of Sophia in the back lines. Entus Ace ready for the breach. You can see the clear on the window. Jai Wei, first nade Oh my god, it's a shotgun waiting on the other side. That could be decimation. But wait, still patient. The boosts come in. They're biding their time. Joy on the stairs, holding the angle. That's the first point of contact. And now we wait. K-Mind and H-Win having issues, but that's not interesting right now.
Oh, sees it through the door.
Oh, goodbye! Say
Instantly
hello to the
disconnects, though.
shotgun. Wait, he holds the angle. 2 more shells ready to go, locked and loaded. Smoke still standing. Can GX recover? They can't enter anymore. They know that is a big resounding no. Shut the door, get out. This is my compound. Peeking around carefully. Another falls! GX being decimated and the flush from Joy.
A 686. He's gone for the flank while he's completely They're looking at this fight, so they're sending him after the sniper. That's amazing. If they take that out, that's their cover completely gone.
The UMP, if any time it's now, if any range it's there.
Run,
and
Sophia,
Ectus
run.
Ace are looking so good. ZGG found an engage towards Profi. That's beyond the point, Sophia. It might be time to back out. You have just lost. Oh, one more bullet will land. That could take them out of the game.
GX have lost everything. This has been an appalling start for them. Sophia's just bailing out to try and hold on for dear life. The engagement between Genesis and 4AM. It has been a bridge camp. I was watching it in the back. The rest of them, they're just pushing this in. We need to get across from here. We've lost 1. We've lost 2. 4AM, they've been damaged on transfer.
Profi has gone down for Genesis. They need to look to that beyond. But now you have to look at the island. Who's waiting? It's Na'Vi, the CIS Giants, the European champions, if you want to look at them in that way, have certainly held their own, but they hold the cross. They are the gatekeepers here on the other side.
That's brutal for 4AM, losing 2 players so early on.
But to send it on the bridge, what do you expect?
It's always dangerous. I mean, did they actually manage to get the confirmation onto one of the players? I don't think they did. So Genesis will be all 4 members back on their feet, and they're holding the bridge. The next victim could be Gen G. They are looming and lingering. The bullets will have given away some information. We'll show you the map so you can check in where all of our teams currently are. The Rumblers, well, they're in no man's land in the water. They will make landfall shortly. FaZe Clan, they've come across. On the opposing bridge, T1, I see them stopping. So maybe we see gridlock on both bridges here, either side of the island.
Yep, I'm glad to see the Rumblers taking the wider swing. I think FaZe might have gone for the same approach or an early rotation. I'm not too sure. They've already made it to the military island themselves. Genesis, it might be time for them to move. They don't want to be here any longer. They don't want to get caught in their own trap. And this is their initial movements. Landing in Pachinki, they had it to themselves. Nice for them, but it does seem as though when they make landfall, they could be getting some attention themselves.
I really like the smart play that Profi and his teammate have done. They've taken one of the boats and gone across the bridge from underneath. So it basically stops them being bottlenecked by a team on the opposing side. Covering both bases, it's really clever, it's really smart. This gives them a nice free point of entry. But they have to be aware, Gen G is setting up on the opposing side. What do they do here? Have they been too late? Are other teams in better positions for them? Or do they camp down on Gen G?
There's the first couple of bullets. Mini going to be switched to. Genesis might have just been warded away from potentially being picked up by Ragnar, who's waiting over by the yellow houses. Genesis going to stick to the coast and meet up with K-Mind and Profi and reconsolidate their roster. We do see the final couple of players making their way through. Sophia still way up in the north, but we'll touch on that later as SK Telecom T1 head over the bridge out on the east.
Uh-oh.
Lazarus.
Don't shoot. Don't give away your position.
They've already crossed. They're not going to do it. They're fine. They're safe. They're on the other side. Lazarus, I like the cautious approach. Meticulous, careful. And QM.
You know,
going
it's
for a dip.
You know, it's rough times when you're just swimming. You'll always go for the little point on the opposing side of the island.
Yep.
It's the shortest route there. I'm surprised they've not got a vehicle, to be fair, and just rammed it off the cliffs. Give yourselves a bit more of a jump. There is time to do it, but... Oh, no, what? How
Pardon?
Well, that's not good.
Okay, I don't know what's happened, but what I know
Mistakes
is 4
were
AM.
made.
We're already down to 2 players here, Rich, and they're about to be crept up on by Tempo Storm, and now here comes the bridge. Lazarus made it across, or have they? First engage, they make one man through Puddy Cody. Oh no! What? Puddy Cody's gone down, that's a huge... Oh, he just dodges at her! Swift and Lazarus! Devastation for the North Americans, going down in last after what looked like they were being cautious and meticulous, have now just gifted T1 a huge upgrade in loot.
He pre-naded. He put a landmine down and it hit him. That's insanity. Well, the home crowd won't be too happy with that one. Topping the charts from the semi-finals coming into this and going out in 16th game number 1. You now need the mental fortitude to push on. That's That's got to hurt. That's got to sting. And it'll be the sign of a good IGL and a good team captain to get the team back together. Rolling on throughout this competition. We look onwards. 4 AM still. 2 alive. The noise from the bike will give away position. But really, when you've got 2 players on that one little motorcycle, where do you go? What do you do? What do you see in front of you?
Na'Vi got the first couple, but it's forced down the lower side of the hill, who could potentially follow it up. FaZe on the move as well. FaZe sweeping on the... Oh, no! No! 4 AM! They've pulled up. They better be ready to go! Trade on 1, but the second, forever, does not stand forever as 4 AM. Down in 15th. One of the best in the world just got slaughtered, and now FaZe are being engaged upon themselves.
The PCL Giants will drop down in 16th
FaZe.
place.
Are they going towards Na'Vi?
Oh no!
Oh, a doozy is taken down first place. It looks like a slaughter. FaZe are at the door. Pokemon prepare. Mexi and 8C knocking on the door themselves. They want in, and they've made it in thus far.
He got him! He got him! That's 2! Pokemon with the nade. Straight down. Uber knocked. That's rather unfortunate. Now they can make the advancement. Senya across the road, watches and waits for anyone to push outside. And all Pokemon has to keep doing is just slinging nades down the stairwell, pin them in, and the rest of the team can get the job done.
It's down to 8C and Mexi to try and make something happen here. Na'Vi are split apart, sure, but FaZe don't have the numbers to create much of a situation. This is with QM up on the north side of the island with VC, and you can see a Pokemon just made a play for this as well. It looks like Na'Vi might try and disengage, play a little bit more safe, play a smart game here. If that nade goes up and over, I'd lose my mind. FaZe trying to get Uber back on his feet. You're arguable one of the star players here as Na'Vi try and gather themselves, slow down the pace, control the tempo.
You've got to be careful because third party is always a possibility. Clearly FaZe don't have the information to where Na'Vi fully are. You can see the nades being thrown up into the building. The rest of them disconnecting. Maybe they regroup, get a better position. Circle, it's rough. It puts a hell of a lot of water still in and it splits the islands in 2. Makes this a little bit more smaller. I'm still seeing, I think it's Entus Ace are actually on the opposing side on the main head of Erangel. They've yet to make a crossover. The Rumbler's still outside of the blue, but down in the south is where it's about to get messy. TSM and Tempo. Ira looking to try and get a knock or a pick to save Michael's skin out here on his own, extended from the rest of the roster. I'd say you need to get on a vehicle and maybe bail it back to the team, but he could be going for the flank.
It's just so risky, but TSM have played such an explosive game. Michael, phenomenal player. There's nothing to be taken away, but to be able to try and capitalize on this, he needs Rory, he needs Iroh, he needs the rest of the team to apply pressure. Otherwise, he's going to be out on this island. The circle is rough, as you can see.
Oh
my god, who's done this? It's gone north. Okay, we have currently 3 teams on the northern side. Hold on, GX, Entus Ace, and Gen G did not move. WClick could have the first way across. QM can swim if they need to. But this has now put the vast majority of the lobby in no man's land. They've got to move.
In what competitive world does this ever happen? With hard shifts to the... There's no way!
We say this time and time again, maybe, but it could happen, and it never does.
That's absolutely mental. Because there's only a small amount of areas that you can enter the opposing side. The cliffs will create bottlenecks.
Here we go.
Very Pier is open, but that bridge is not.
TSM are pushing it. They're going to have to try and get towards Tempo Storm. They can't cross without it. Here we go. Maluk is first, but what did TSM do? Iroh's out on a limb. He's going for this one. That's a good nade. That could find Maluk. Down to half HP. TSM trying to temper Tempo Storm. Not so easy as Sharky snaps down towards Michael. As Iroh now is slightly surrounded. Look at this hillside. He might be able to fight 2, but he might lose out on the others.
They've got to be careful.
Genesis have made it.
They've gone to Ferry Pier. That locks that down. They could potentially stay here and lock out any other teams. They're behind Gen G on the opposing side. A doozy goes down. Ira, second one to fall now for TSM. Tempo Storm, they're feeling this one. There is a response back. Sharky hits the deck. Ira's gone. That's a completion. And it now comes down to Gustav holding this on his own. He's got death from above and below.
Maluk being close to the engage. Maluk whiffs it, but he goes back in, trying to get the peek on Gustav. He's got the damage, but has he got the kill? Gustav can only find Sharp Shot as Maluk works his way forward, and it's him to clean up. TSM not looking so sharp anymore, as Rory, our last man alive, has 2 to find in the hillside, 2 on the coastline. A rock and a hard place to say the least, as now the blue comes in.
He actually hit him in the head through the smoke. He didn't go down, but now he's forced to heal. Going to be one of the furthest away from this.
Genesis just sniped one across the water. K-Mind is putting on pressure from Ferry Pier here. And why not? They have it all to play for. Team shooting the Eastern Bridge.
Oh no.
QM finding VC right in the water.
Fish in a barrel, dynamite down. A couple of bit more distance on that one. I think they'll be getting it. Yes, indeed. TSM is out. And VC are left in the water, being hunted. QM on the beach. What do you boys do? You are just being bombarded from the beachhead.
Yeah, QM should lock this one out. It looks like they are. There goes another as VC are drowning. As now shots come in from further east. That's the rest of VC who are still in the blue, far off here. Trying to find a way back in as, well, Sophia's finding damage on the Rumblers. Where is that?
There is a mass migration coming. Na'Vi enters Force phase. They're all together on the other side of the circle, and they're approaching the bridge. Who is the vehicles? Na'Vi does not. They're all on foot. Yes, to the edge of the white. And there's time to go, but they've all got to cross the bridge. This is insanity for a game number one. This is one of the wildest circles we've seen in Pubg.
They just got turned on a doozy, went for the engage and lost it. Enters Force fighting their way out of this one, as now Na'Vi finally feel the force. After dealing with FaZe, they might fall at the final hurdle. Now, nades come out, but can they find Senya? He's on the other side of this hill, staying alive, ducking down, trying to bide his time. And enters Force. Where do they engage on this? Do they fall off? Do they find a fight? Because Senya is waiting.
Snapped in the back. That's going to be Mexi. FaZe still. Now giving away their position. Hitting the beachhead, you would expect boats to not be a viable option here, which means they're swimming. Either that, you get in a car, you're hitting the bridge. Once you get across that bridge, Genesis, Gen G, everyone's going to be set up looking towards teams that are finally making it across there. The blue eventually will begin to hurt. We're in phase number 4 here. So after that, really, what do you do? Itzy goes down, that's probably a knock and a combination from the blue unless the meds were not there for him.
Mexi still holding by the bridge. You're seeing the Rumblers hold. That's on the other side of the island for now. These are the remaining teams trying to find a way in. Na'Vi losing out players as the nades come out, and you can see enters 4 step by step, controlling this side of the bridge. Senya wants to avenge, as Kale's just around this corner. He's going to hit
минус ставочка пока.
For now, just holding. Tempo Storm down and out. 12 position for them. Mexi confirms it. Senya onto Kale, having a look around.
Что минус 9? Да, минус 9.
11th place will be there. Blue begins to do damage. Xiangyang, last man standing here for enters Force. But really, what can he do? He's at the mercy of the blue, at the mercy of the bridge. Uber is running for dear life. Maybe he goes and tries to find some frags. But honestly, really, what can you do at this stage apart from pick up individual points? Everyone else getting mopped up by the blue.
There's nothing to be done for Uber. The best he could do is run back up and run over, but this blue hurts so bad. This is going to be the death of both of these players as we now need to look across the island. Gen G are a terrifying prospect in this scenario. They were already on the bridge. They were gate camping on the other side. They were holding it down. And now they have prime position. They control the entirety of the south side of the new circle. As that's a shot and a half coming through. We see Enters Force remaining player trying to make a run. As FaZe trying to stay alive down low with Uber. Both in a heal off.
Gen G had the option to camp the bridge and kill people that are going to be moving across from Sosnovka. Instead, they took the yellows on the cliffs. The Rumblers, number 9, will be on their tombstone. But Gen G controlling this entire cliffside denies any entry points from the water. The water would probably kill you at this stage anyway with the blue on your back. Some teams might even opt to just say, you know what, give it up. Doesn't it even allow it? Yiz, just from the cliffside, says no, you do not get to deny yourself there, Ragnar.
Remember, Yiz is one of those highlight players, one of the strongest players we've seen come out through those semi-finals, so don't doubt what he can achieve, but it's a swim for him now, as it looks like Pio's watching that too. This is T1, coming in from the north after that initial scrap they had. Genesis with a great play across the island, they got a boat and they made it through swiftly.
ТСМ последний. Лазарус последний форейм. Да нормально, 10-й.
On a swivel, looking for any pixel out of place. Genesis look good here. Look at the room they've got. We've got 6 teams here. This circle actually allows a lot of play for the remaining teams. Enters Ace going to make a play towards Gen G.
While it might be only one player from Enters Force, we still, in theory, have all 4 PKL teams up and standing. T1, Enters Ace, Gen G, and then Enters Force with a solo player. This is an insanely good start for Korea.
It truly is. Let's see what they can make of it. Genesis hold the hillside and the fire comes out. Supreme shots land and they get the knock on one. The flush is just not going to happen from this unless Profi's got, you know, some god tier arm that he's considering. It's not going to happen. T1 now have a bit of cover. You go look at Entus Ace. Look at the rest of T1. They're in a big 2-2 split here as well. You've got Genesis, Gen G still considering what they want to do in the southeast themselves. And that is not an ideal shack to be sat in.
Genesis and Gen G can control the outer areas here. Entus Ace and T1, if they want to push that shack further, for me, you're just kind of locking yourselves into a no-win scenario. You can't eject yourself from that. You're in an open territory. You're in an open playing field. Why not play edge? Why not play this one slow? Use the trees, use the rocks. QM finally gone, denies it to anybody. That's the best scenario he could possibly ask for rather than giving it to another team. For T1 with these two players, unless you can hit the world at 8 times through one of the little windows, you're going to be disconnected from the rest of the roster, provided that Genesis doesn't get too tunnel visioned on just those 2 players there, because other teams will hear them shooting and other teams will take advantage of them standing still.
Absolutely precision play coming out. You're seeing the SLRs, you're seeing minis, you're seeing everything with a bit of range. Going to be the paramount thing to have beside you here. Genesis, I like their position for now, but if it does move away from that rolling hillside in the forest, it could prove a problem. Everyone else banking on those shacks. Is incredibly dominant in my eyes, even with the 2-2 split. If they lose out on the other 2, it doesn't fuss me that much.
You've just seen Hitch wins POV. Little hold for a second.
Походу,
Push from T1, the last 2 players making a little bit of a play onto Gen G, but they are disconnected. That's the problem for them.
I think Gen G are sweeping and it's smart. I like what they're doing, moving around this northeast side. They still have players in the current circle, but this is just housekeeping to them. That's smart. They can disengage.
Да, точно, я же хотел.
Drill in the sort of
Короче, нахер.
adjustment on these shots. Taemin could be in a bit of trouble, but he has made it through to the yellows, back with the others. They now know that T1 has this position. I like it. If it's just an information play, that's great. And no, he's unrecoverable. Yes, Ada stays alive, but the info is now noted.
Секунду.
Speaking about Hitchman's POV, when you look towards his armor level 1, it's going to be even worse for the players of T1 inside the little shack. Hunkering down and praying for dear life. Coming down the hillside, how much further can you go? Those smokes will only hide you for so long, fellas. Eventually they will have to run out.
They still have the circle.
That's a beautiful position. They could also, if they really wanted to come down, they've got all the woods to play off of in their location. More importantly, they also have the gas station. The bombs, the grenades, they come flying through. Bodies are just being picked apart. The smokes and the shacks, they'll only do so much because eventually they have to move.
Absolutely, and they have to move towards one of these teams. You do have T1 in the middle, you have Genesis in the back, and Entus Force got their final player. He is over by the petrol station. Lockie again.
We hit him running.
Precision play from this man. We've seen it already. Is this just a taste of things to come? For now, though, we have to remind ourselves, a North American team really could do some big work here already. A good couple of kills for this side.
But those players in the shack, not only are they going to be lacking gear and armor, they're not healing up, Lauren. I think they're completely out of meds. They burst through them inside it. And this will cost them dearly. As soon as they come out of that shack, if you don't have the armor and you don't have the health, you're going to die. You're just pickings for any team. But who's going to be the picker? Is it going to be Gen G? Is it going to be Genesis? Don't forget, we've still got that one player from Entus Force lingering down in the petrol station on his own.
Pio's just trying to ninja this one, isn't he? Just slowly moving his way up here, going to take the car and look for a new angle. He's found an off angle on maybe Entus Ace. Once that smoke dissipates, his angle could be one of the best. If Genesis don't realize, that's his smoke wall. He wants protection from that side. Entus Ace are now everyone's, you know, Thanksgiving dinner at this point, and there it is. Taemin, Gen G gonna find this one. Joy goes down. No more smiles, no more happiness, as Entus Ace are eliminated. We're down to 4 teams here. 8 kills for Gen G. Their positioning was paramount, but they have capitalized.
Genesis binds the time for a second. They still have this woods to play with. They can opt to go towards the gas station, but there is one player in there. They might not be keeping track of him, which could be deadly in the later stages of this one. Eyes on the prize here for North America. K-Mind and Profit. 6 times, 8 times with the minis. This is more than enough. With the 5.56 Esther on the bike, time to go. Gen G against the circle, they got to find a position.
Where's Esther going to head this to? The petrol station is not available right down on the south coast, still slightly open. You're seeing those shots coming in. That's K-Mine spotting this one out, so now they have to piece together this puzzle that Gen G is trying to build. Nice shot coming through, keeping that pressure building. And I'm sure the damage is going to be there now. Gen G's gear can't be sitting too pretty, whereas I look at Genesis, it's not too bad.
Those players from T1 are actually holding Gen G dead to rights and locked in against the circle.
I don't know how they're going to send it. It looks like a vehicle's being considered at this point. I see the car moving
Так, ну
around.
давайте
This could be a
попробуем.
mad dash. This could be the big send. Who's going to punish? Can anyone make anything?
Что там
They're gonna move
происходит?
down again on the southeast
Genji.
side. Trying to join up, but K-Mine says no. Goodbye to one of your players. PO still stands. He's made it further forward, and Gen G are clutching at straws. Genesis so far are the kings of this game.
7 kills in the bag, and the win is looking good. All 4 players up, the only team left here in phase 7, with everybody surviving. Circle was good for them. Came their way, but they have capitalized on the position. However, eventually they will have to come down from the security of this hillside where they are. There is plenty of trees and cover to do that, but they've still got to get past these Korean teams. 3 up for Gen G. Smokes, eventually, Lauren, they're going to dissipate and they're going to be completely out of utility. And honestly, they're going to be working with very little.
But they're trying to forge a path. They're trying to find a way forward. They're trying to put anything they can to create maybe a chance. Because the circle isn't too pleasant for Genesis either. They have to shift further and further forward, down the slope, more and more into the vision of Gen G. I don't see any smoke now left on Ether. That's going to be a bit of a hindrance going forward. It might be time to start fighting out once these final smokes go.
Profi just casually picking up a crit in the back lines.
Who is this madman? He better have moves. He better be on a serpentine between these shots. And K-Mine, he can't land a shot. Somehow he's made it to the next touch of cover. And inch by inch, Gen G get closer.
I'm seeing damage coming out from T1. We did say about getting tunnel visioned here, and it might have punished them. They've taken the eyes off of T1 in that little shack. Nerf's gone down, smokes are up. Now they have to take one out of the scenario to get him back on his feet. The res will come through. That only gives eyes up for Genesis of 2 individual players. This allows Gen G to actually move.
Look
this is dangerous.
Oh my god, Esther is making the play. Moving up again, under the fire. You know the suppressing fire was coming in. Seeing that knock, you know you got space. Genesis have been static. They haven't moved as much. They haven't tried to capitalize. They haven't been able to punish Gen G. And Inter's Force still stand. T1 still stand. This is not a good position. And Nerf goes down. That's going to be a flush.
They haven't kept them in check, and now they are being punished hard. T1, Profi, K-Mine, Nerf. They are dying at the hands of the 2 guys in the shack. This is just... How have you let this happen? You've taken your eyes off the ball, and now they are punishing you hard. T1's hammer is coming down.
They were on cloud 9, and now they are feeling the full force of Korea. PO is running in the open. Look how confident.
Through the door, do it.
My
do it.
God, if that is on.
It's
oh my God!
А, даже так.
We asked where he was. We wanted an answer, and we find it. T1 are out. They're eliminated. We're into the top 3. And NA still has their champions, but for how long? Enters Force. How are these? Oh my God, this is a punish. That's an execution. Loki had no idea. As Force were waiting, and Force strike. That's a one-shot.
Smokes are up, we're able to make a run here. Seong Yan, literally the last man standing for Force, has caused problems for Gen G. 10 kills in the bag is fantastic. Genesis have been able to get one more person back on the feet. 2-man squad, they will continue. Song Yang, just this solo ranger, is causing problems across the battlefield.
Oh my God! He barely made it over the bridge. He barely made it away from FaZe, and now he stands on the precipice of being the downfall of Gen G and Genesis. K-Mine, last man alive for Genesis. He's trying to do what he can, and he falls. We're down to the top 2. 1v2. It ain't G.
Рафлан ебало. Я не понимаю, как. Как так?
On the edge of the circle, they clawed their way in. Tooth and nail, they fought back individually. And they get their first win on the board. That is impressive. Broken apart individually, but working as a team. What a win for Gen G.
They have to have their heads held high. We asked questions of performance. We wanted to see the Gen G that we knew was building. And is it the finals that call the beast to the
Так,
stage?
теперь убираем. Пробуем убрать лишнюю толпу. Ой.
Yes, you'd have liked to see more in the final circle, but I've got to say it, they got outplayed.
Теперь к фону херачим. Сначала черно-белое. Затем Градиент. Не, не Градиент, стоп.
You have to confirm these kills. You have to put people in the grave. We said for Genesis, if they didn't keep track and they got tunnel visioned onto other teams, they will be punished, and that's exactly what happened.
It absolutely is. I do see the interviews
Так,
almost
что-то я не то сделал.
to bring ourselves back in, but what a first look at what to expect here in the finals, Rich. That circle was just insane. Seeing it moving to the north caught us all off guard. Let's take a second to catch our breaths. Let's get Rachel with the interview.
Thank you guys so much. I'm down here with Pio, who had a crazy, incredible game. And we do have to talk about that third circle first and foremost. It looked like you guys were going for an island game, but then it yeeted on back up north. What was your team thinking about when that all happened?
이제 밀배에서 이 게임이 진행될 계획이었는데 그렇게 보였는데 이제 아일랜드 말고 이제 딴 쪽에서 진행이 됐는데 어떠셨는지?
처음에는 밀배를 뜰 거라고 생각하고 건너편에 사람들이 많길래 일단 뒤부터 최대한 막고 진행하자고 생각하고 있었는데 위로 뜨길래 조금 당황했던 것 같아요.
So we thought that the circle was gonna end up in the military zone. So we were just standing back, but then we were surprised that the circle formed in the other side.
Well, you guys were quick to respond. You set yourselves up on the eastern part of those final circles and then moved across as a line with some very good nades. So walk me through those final moments with your team.
이제 마지막 순간에서 이제 중간 쪽으로 들어오는 이 순간들이 있었는데 팀원들하고 뭐 어떠셨는지.
마지막에 T1 선수들이 제네시스 선수들을 기절시켜주는 킬로그를 보자마자 그냥 팀원들한테 배우소 봐달라고 하고 바로 폭탄을 던지러 갔던 것 같습니다.
So he trusted his team, and then after they made the attacks, he just threw the grenade, and that's what happened.
Beautiful grenades, and it's wonderful that you could trust your team to help bring you to victory because you guys nailed it in the first. We've got a lot more PUBG to play, so I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Так, стопэ.
Simply put, an unbelievable start here to the PGC Grand Finals. Not only because we had a ridiculous set of circles to get our first game going. Everybody thought it was going to be a military circle. It was not a military circle. But then the team that found glory in 2018 at the World Championship at PGI has then started things out by finding glory in the first game here in 2019 in PGC. That's a big statement. They had a great spot and they were able to work it out. The final few circles, though, just madness.
I mean, PK, hell yeah, brother. 4 teams in that top 5. Mind-blowing, but yes, Gen G, 13 kills. That shift was surprising, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I think that this may not be this repeat of PGI, because they can't count on that kind of luck when they're taking early game fights with shotguns to start this thing. That was Ace, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was an absolutely crazy start, but the third party and T1 really opening up. I was rooting a little bit for Genesis. They had a really good rotation. They managed to make it back up to Ferry Pier, but it turned out unlucky for them. T1 third party, then Songyang was there as well. They should have moved a little bit earlier, and they potentially could have taken that game home.
There was so much happening in this game, so many team fights, but also individual plays. You saw Helen just getting one after another from Genesis. Pio, in the right moment, going for that nade in the shack. I mean, that was a 1-2 second window to make that move because Genesis was getting knocked out by T1 just so much all the time.
I mean, Genesis is a problem. Come on. They knew Team 1 was there. They were shooting at him for the last, what felt like 6 hours. and then they get knocked 3 in a row. Like, that's, I don't know, man.
There's so many highlight-worthy moments here from the first game. Helen, for me, from T1, though, I have to talk to you about this even further, because you brought it up, but I'm going to talk about it again. The fact that he did so much damage to Genesis that had circles going towards them constantly was massive. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here from this game as a whole, as we started off with a fight north of the river with a shotgun.
A fight that was so exciting, I just had to talk about it. Who fights with shotguns? They did it, and ultimately, because of that north shift, it worked out for them. But as you see, it was just a massacre at the bridge going both ways. It's rare that we get to see bridge fights twice.
I was also surprised that Song Yang managed to survive for that long and also cross the bridge. He made it that far, and they had a lot of kills from the southern side as well. So a big clutch from Song Yang, in my opinion.
I mean, Uber could have spoiled it. He was underneath the bridge on the south side, but he didn't go
Вот это
for it.
помогает черно-белое, понять не
I
могу.
mean, no one was camping the bridge. He had a good time for himself there.
And you gotta love Genji.
Ладно.
The second that shift went north, they puffer fished out. They held the yellows. They held the hilltop. They made sure no one came into their terrain, and they set themselves up to win from the moment they knew it was coming back to the main island. And you can see, yeah, you know, T1 did the right thing. They crashed the most powerful shack in that area, and they held it for a long time. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough to stop the domination of Genji.
That's right, PKL shows up big to start things off here as we have Genji getting themselves the first win of the day. Let's take a look at those points coming in, the results as they do stand. That is a big chunk of points for Genji to start off the day. A huge
Стоп, у
chunk
меня
of
вроде
points
такая
for
была.
PKL to start off the day with the two CJ Enters teams there, second and third, fourth place going to T1. As much as Genesis had a great spot, they weren't able to accrue as many kills as I would like to have hoped to have seen them. They were shooting for the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, because they were alone on the western side for a long time, and yes, they could have taken a bit of opportunity a little bit earlier, and maybe taken.
А нет, может, я хотел ее только скачать.
The gas station as well to make sure that they got the kills there, but they focused on putting the pressure on everybody, and that kind of gave the opportunity for Gen G to get into the position they did.
I mean, Genesis were playing for a late game. They took it passive. They knew that, hey, we're in a good spot here. We don't want to spoil this. We don't want to just lose this. Take it easy. We'll grab the kills later. We want to win this game. But apparently, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was a unique game. I'm going to call it sort of a one-off, right? It was an extreme rarity that we probably won't see again. I won't say we won't, but it's not likely going to happen. But we got to see moments of brilliance and some indicators. Tempo Storm versus TSM, I thought was a very interesting fight. Tempo comes out with 4 and makes the best of a bad situation. Na'Vi played very cleanly until sort of that shift went back to the other side. And you could sort of see the wheels come off a little bit as everyone tried to deal with how do you get back. So we saw teams that needed to show that they could play here, I think, show us good moments despite a bad situation.
I mean, look at OG and Ace, for example. They had that early fight. After that, they went to Pachinki. Even if Pachinki was outside in the blue, they went there to loot the rest of what the Genesis didn't loot, because they only looted 1 flat top up there, so they didn't have anything to work with. And they knew, all right, we'll take our time. This is not doing a lot of damage. This is just the first circle.
Let's take a look at how that plane actually was able to traverse this map, and then obviously where the circles ended up shifting. Avenger, at the very beginning, you were like, oh, we're going to get a military circle? Because you always say that. But we actually did get that. And for one interesting dynamic there, Entus Force, which we thought was originally going to be going into Pachinki, decided to go military. And originally they were sitting pretty, but it obviously changed a little.
I like to see this kind of flexible drop for them. That worked out real well. They were also been looking to go into Servany, so going out early, making sure that they got this spot early, really worked out for them well. And obviously Gen G dropping completely on the other side, because they came so late to the circle, kind of passive place that really paid off well for them.
I mean, for this circle, it worked for Force to go military island, but I'm wondering if they're going to keep on doing that, or if that was just a reactive drop because the plane started down there. It might be the case, and if that's so, we're going to see them being all over the map on the upcoming games.
When you look at that map, you can see Ace had to work the hardest to get to the late, to get to that sort of 3 position. But
Так, в принципе, эти трубы можно сделать в виде неона. Попробовать.
Scouting, they had the spot, right? When they got those yellow houses, a lot of teams would have been happy to just sort of hold that or hold the hill. They made sure that they were active the entire time, and they earned it from that moment.
I mean, a lot of their game plan for
Хотя
me, they were over the other side of the bridge, waiting for it to, in their minds, 95% chance go to military. It felt kind of like gatekeeping, but they made the best of an amazing situation for them.
Так, ну, во-первых, я хочу какой-то вот такой вот цвет.
30 or something like that. Then with the next circle pop, you was like, oh my god, what's happening here? But what was most impressive to me was that they let the teams to be alive as long as there was a benefit to them. T1, they let them be alive. They could have killed them early. They could have chucked the nade into the shack early, but they made sure that everyone putting pressure on Genesis, they made sure that they were alive so they can kind of help them. And then when they were of no more help, they made sure to shut it down.
And that was something that we kind of looked at Avenger, and I'm going to open this up for the entire panel as a whole. Gen G, when they were choosing to go where they wanted to in those later stages, when there's so much open space in the middle, they were skirting around the edge, and we were saying maybe they should go all the way to the gas station, maybe the crates, but they decided to stop in very interesting locations to try and kind of hold those down. What do you think of that, Toffees?
I mean, I think they were aware that somebody was at the gas station. They knew that Genesis would probably collapse immediately if they didn't.
Так, ща подумаем.
And it wasn't worth the risk, and I guess it worked. They basically spread out. They made sure everyone had a cover angle for each other, and they looked to get kills, and then hopefully.
Давайте посмотрим, что это еще за пак.
What Gen G did in the end, there was always one person moving, always two persons holding the other teams, making sure, all right, no one's gonna have an angle on the guy who's moving right now. And whenever that guy got into position, it was time for the next one to move, and that's what's happened throughout the whole end of the game for them.
When do I get to lobby to deport Xenox for the Lazarus vote?
I was going to ask just now,
Okay.
but if you had to choose one person to blame for Lazarus going in 16th, who would it be?
He literally picked him, and he said, I'm picking them because of Luke 12, and then Luke 12 dies first, and Lazarus goes out in 16th.
Опа, это уже что-то поинтереснее.
Pubg decided to go with two guys there to make sure that it's theirs. And when you have all of Yasnaya to yourself, you can kind of question, do I want to make sure that I get another car besides the 15 that I got east of Yasnaya?
Только тут где его подставить?
Benny Road is a kind of important place to take, so we'll see in the next game. I'm excited to see if they continue that fight. Because
it was a risky move, but at the same time, it could have paid off because they want to have that control.
These were the moments where we were seeing T1 actually putting pressure on towards Genesis, and PO decided to cause a little bit of a problem for their plans. One thing I liked from T1 though was one inside, one at the back. Not really putting all the chickens in one basket in the middle.
Well, at the same time, you can't
Подождите. Так, во-первых, там началась игра. Я правильно понимаю?
Of course, this Nate situation, you don't want to be put in a situation where two.
Не, это уже конец игры.
I think you're right. When you're looking for the chicken picnic, you don't necessarily want to put all your.
Так, можно сделать
And that's
дымку.
what they did. They spread out. That grenade was absolutely perfect. But like we saw, Pio, the whole time he pushed, he was watching every single spot where he knew everyone was. And the rest of his team was crossfiring. They were keeping Genesis's head down as he made that push to get rid of T1.
Big fan of chicken picnics here at the desk. And of course for Genesis, having that kind of high ground Avenger, unfortunately during the end, during those final moments, it's not like even some of these circles, when they died, shifted that far away from them, but there was just no room.
There's no room. I mean, when you keep the high ground here, to make sure that you put so much pressure on the rest of them, they should have taken, because there are 4 guys alive, they should have taken 2 guys and then other angles so they can make sure they had multiple angles to put pressure, even though the other guys
Так,
kept
ну
moving.
давайте
So,
подумаем.
in my opinion, the knock in the blue and the knock in the car, there is unfortunate, the car didn't work as well. So
О, погоди, это уже интереснее.
Lost that game when we saw T1 push for that shack that they took. Genesis was already making a 2-man push towards it. They got the circle and they pulled back
Так, может
around
все-таки
and gave up on
пробовать
that
себя
push.
с фона
I think they would have
вырезать.
beaten T1 there. I think they would have been able to hold it with 2, and I think that may